in Montreal, Canada, y'all. Okay, we in Montreal, Canada, with the team of South of Midnight, and I am here with the lovely people behind the voice and the mocap of Hazel, the protagonist for South of Midnight. I love that there's a lot of representation being taken place in this game. Tell me how y'all feeling about the game, the art design, the environment, just your overall perspective since working on the game. Tell me how you feeling.
Seeing the documentary and seeing pieces of the game, it's been an amazing, amazing journey. And the authenticity that's brought into it, the creative collaboration of everyone, is seeing everyone's individual expertise bring together something so beautiful. It's just astonishing to watch everyone in their element and it all come to life, because we've been working so hard on this for such a long time. So for me, it's just wonderful to see.
Yeah, I echo those sentiments. I think something about the way the story is drawn, the way the characters are really specific and really detailed. They were incredibly thorough with making everyone feel very individualistic and real. So seeing that and seeing it all come together has been really exhilarating.
Yeah, I think for me, it was very important that when this game was played, that the people who are from where this game is from could play this game and be like, that's exactly where I'm from. So
Right.
Authenticity was a huge factor in getting this game out there and making sure that it had that flavor, it had the sound, it had the movement. And, you know, the specificity of that was very important to all of us bringing this thing to light, right? Because you can tell when somebody is from that region by the way they stand,
Right.
by the way they look, by the way they talk, just by mannerisms, like a hand on the hip and, you know, resting with one leg up and one leg down, like those types of things that are very specific and are very authentic to that region. It was really important for us to put in that game, and being able to see that on screen translated the way it's translated was just phenomenal.
You talk to anyone when it comes to Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana. When we're talking to our great grands, there are so many, how would I put, lived experiences. What does it mean to like really nail it on the head?
I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, and I think something that standing in Hazel's shoes really came alive for me was the sense of community and the people that she was around and her relationship with her mother, and how her coming into her own was like her kind of sitting in that ancestry and sitting in the matriarchy within her family. And a little bit of like seeing my peerage, like growing up running track and seeing people like me and people like people I grew up with. And it's like, oh, we're all like a little grown already, like, because we want to be, but not yet. And everyone's trying to slow you down. But there is this like groundedness and this kind of old soul nature to Hazel, I think. And that's something I think is very authentic to young women growing up in the South.
Just watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, there's a Black woman I'll be playing as. But after watching the documentary and seeing what, like, more of what goes into the storytelling, especially when it comes to like mental health and like dealing with trauma and things of that nature, what would you say, because I'm pretty sure those are some really hard scenes to like really convey. What was the most difficult part about like bringing that out of you?
I think that the way that my process works is I really just try to tell the truth. I'm not necessarily trying to show it, but I'm living it, and it's emoting. And I have the help of an amazing team that allow me to be creative and have onus of the character, but they also are like there as a guide and like, hey, why don't we try this? Or this might help a little bit more. But I think just truly telling the truth in that moment as Hazel, like if something was to happen to someone I loved, it's not very hard for me to have to figure out where that's going to come from. It just will come, naturally from your soul. And the way that the writing is and the plots and the storylines really set us up to be able to emote in a way that was authentic and true. So we weren't really just kind of like making things up, the situations were heartfelt and the words and things supported us. So I think for me, that's really where I found the truth in emoting the things that were traumatic for Hazel. But I think the journey of healing her, not only her own wounds, but the fact that she is healing her wounds through healing others.
Right.
That is so powerful. It's so powerful. And it speaks to Black women, women in general, how much we give and how much we also need healing ourselves and do the work ourselves. So I think there's so many metaphors within the game itself that it's just, it's transcending more than just we're fighting some hands.
Right. What really stood out to me was the fact that it's like there's creatures that she has to, destroy and then take their energy, but there's also creatures that she doesn't attack. She heals, especially if they're human. And I was like, that's powerful, very powerful to go through what you're going through and actually like listening to understand how to help.
I'm hearing you mention that just now, just made me think of just the largeness of the elements in which she's interacting with in the game. And it's somewhat feels like some symbolism in that sense too. That's like all of it can feel like so much,
Right.
but she's tackling it head on. This was my first experience with mocap, so
You did a great job. Sorry to interrupt. You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
First time? What?
Thank you. I mean, and to go into that, it was a lot of me leaning on people in the space and leaning on other actors in the space and treating it like theater, treating it like being on stage a lot and being really aware that I'm being captured from all around me, 360, every angle, extreme close-up constantly, and that kind of lending itself to the overall embodiment of it. Just like they're capturing every move I make. So if I can just be here and let it kind of take over, let it take the notes and let it sort of pour into me and have the energy behind it, then you'll see it on the game.
You feel it when you forget the cameras.
Yeah, when you forget there's like
there's this
something right here, an extension of your face.
Yes, right up your nose.
When you hit the scene and you're like, when we have to hug people in the stands and you kind of forget, you hit the side of how it's like.
There were some collisions.
Yes, when you're in it, there might be some collisions because you forget. You just beam so much.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing performance capture for 30 years, and it's difficult to explain to people, especially people who are playing the game, how when you're performing, everything about you is captured. And a lot of times with actors who haven't worked with performance capture, they don't realize how much of them actually you see until they see the playback, right? Because it's hard to conceptualize when you're putting on the suits and you're doing all the calibration on. But that's one thing, performance capture has changed a lot since when I first started, as we just, were figuring it out, back in the 90s, with Star Wars. But one thing that hasn't changed was as soon as you see what we call the point cloud or the dot matrix on a screen, you can tell it's you. Right. It moves like you. It shapes like you, runs like you, right? If you laugh, if your body articulates the way you articulate, and you can see yourself. So it's never just something that is thrown away. You need wonderful actors to be in those suits to bring that performance to life. It's not something that can be ignored. Like, you really have to find really good actors. And that was really important for this game, for the authenticity of it. And it was important to me that we had 2 Black women playing Black women, because there's a difference. There's a difference in, the movement. There's a difference in the way they act. There are cultural specificities that you have to know by growing up with Black aunties, Black moms, Black grandmas, Black great-grandmas, right? Because you can draw on that. You can say, oh, my great-grandma used to do this, right? and then you embody that, right? And then you can see it when you see the capture, and you'll be able to see it in the game when the animation is over the actors. But I cannot stress enough how wonderful and important it was to work with both Adriyan and Nona, because they brought Hazel to life.
I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you, because this game, I don't think you understand how important this game is for not just Black women who play video games, but the little Black girls who will be seeing this game, and they'll be seeing themselves and they'll be cosplaying as Hazel. Like, things like that is so small, but it's also adding on to the bigger picture when it comes to representation. So regarding all of your performances, it means the world to me, and I cannot wait to play this game. Thank you for being part of this project. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Y'all did amazing.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you. That's all the time we have, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all play South of Midnight. See these amazing people part of this project, and and to see Black people a part of a project too. Let's go.